Hello, welcome to the latest episode of If Japes Drew This. As you can see, today I will be drawing one of the most iconic comic book characters of all time. But not only will I be drawing him, I'll be drawing my favorite version of the favorite comic character of all time, Wolverine, Generation X. But first, a shameless plug. That's right. If you like great story and great art, check out the critically acclaimed Sons of Fate graphic novel series at blackberryjuice.net. Now, on with the show. So, here we go. First of all, we're going to start off with a sketch. I'm going to do a breakdown I did already. I'm going to show you guys. So here it comes. Let the camera focus in a little bit. And basically, I wanted to get the design, the basic outlook of what I wanted. There is real structure there. And as you see, there are things that I'm pointing out that are literally the thing that's going to make my Logan the Logan from Gen X. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they are right away. You'll see as they come in, and you can reference back to the beginning of the drawing when it's done. You might be able to see them, you may not. But there that is, and we'll go from there. So we're going to start putting down the pencils. Like I normally do, I usually do the breakdowns, go right to ink, but for the speed drawings, I want to do one from scratch and show you the actual structure. So here's my argument about Wolverine. My Wolverine has a first name. It's Logan. My Wolverine does not have a second name. And there lies the problem. At least in terms of what I think they did with Wolverine that I began to disagree with. Basically, it's giving him an origin. When I got into comic books, I'm an 80s kid who literally grew up reading, the Chris Claremont from the 80s, basically the John Byrne through I'll even say Jim Lee run. And up until then, I'll even go as far as saying until they actually did Wolverine Origins, which is when they gave him backstory. At that point, Wolverine was pretty much a mysterious person in terms of his past. And that's what was most interesting about him. We didn't know where he came from, what he was about, what his nationality was, or even what was his name besides the name he gave. What was his original name? Did he have a family? The Wolverine I learned to grow and love was Logan. No middle name, no last name. Logan, just straight up Logan. And he was the brood of the X-Men. He was a temperamental one. He was the one who literally did the thing that had to be done. Disobeyed orders when he had to. He also had other interesting traits about him that explained what exactly, or lent hits to who he was without telling you the truth or the whole history about it. Like I said, he was shrouded in mystery. We'll call him My Logan from this point on. My Logan wasn't in love with Jean Grey. He had Mariko, and their relationship was, to be easy about it, complicated. At actual best. Not saying any bad thing about it. He loved her, she loved him, but they had a history, and that history impeded them in having a relationship, so he was single in terms of, but he wasn't chasing Jean, he wasn't, fighting over the affection with Cyclops. Him and Cyclops did have a tumultuous relationship as team leader and Team Gruff. The Gruff on the team, but that was more of, I do things how I want to do them, in terms of, he called Charles Chuck, which Charles hated. He wore cowboy boots. He fought ninjas. He took arrows in his back. His nemesis was Silver Samurai, and Sabretooth actually teased that he might be his daddy, not his brother. And that all lied into the intrigue of the Wolverine that I grew up with and I was interested in. So as you can see, the drawing is starting to flesh out. You get to see Logan in all his glory. And as you can see, maybe you can't see, but I'll start putting it out to you. I put in some of the details that made Logan Logan. One of them is he's surrounded by dead bodies. Surrounded. And literally it's the end result of the fight he just had, with the overwhelming odds that he always ended up being on top of because of his savageness and being able to do what wasn't expected with those overwhelming odds. So yeah, basically it's just a representation of what Logan was to me. Cowboy boot wearing, bar fight having, arrows in his back, ninja killing character who literally was a man of mystery to even his closest of colleagues. And as you can see right now, we started with the actual line work. Now that I basically have a pretty clean sketch of where I want it to go, I just go in to start making the details, fleshing out the picture even more in terms of who this character is, with the main goal of you kind of understanding where I'm coming from the details that are in this actual illustration. I also decided not to. Logan of my time didn't always rock the Wolverine costume. If he wasn't on assignment, he'd be literally in a tank top and some jeans and some cowboy boots. And as you can see, he has a beer in his hand because my Logan was always drinking. Was he a alcoholic? I mean, I'm gonna say no, being that his healing factor probably metabolized alcohol, which is why he could drink. Although he would drink until he was passed out on his little twin bed in his room in the Xavier mansion. But I don't know about being drunk. He would drink till he passed out, sure. But drunk? Nah, probably not. But my Logan, one of his staples was he always had a beer. Now, being that he's a Canadian national, we can call it a Labatt's. I was literally going to draw in a detail of the beer, but I thought it'd be a little too much with all the other detail I was doing. But for the sake of argument, let's say Wolverine drinks a Labatt's, and because he's patriotic to his nation of so-called origin. So as you can see, these foes of Wolverine died a very gruesome death in terms of, and he is not ashamed to dwell in it, as he is surrounded by what is turning out to be a bunch of dead ninja. And one literally has cuts going down his back, the other one has a sword impaled on him. The third one is on the floor, and oh, look at there. A little, well, not so little, but another remnant of my Logan, his nemesis, Silver Samurai, at least his helmet. Now you'll see a body, you'll see a couple of bodies of discernible. You can actually see them, you know, where they are, but he's literally on a bunch of bodies behind them and stacked underneath them. I wanted to have the I wanted it to portray that there are more bodies underneath the actual bodies. Oh, by the way, that little right there, what I'm doing right there in the bottom, that's actually a picture of Mariko. Because, like I said, this picture will be representational of what Wolverine was about, or Generation X Wolverine was about. So no Jean in the back or Cyclops fuming. It is Mariko. It is the ninja. It is Silver Samurai's helmet. It is the arrows in his back. My homage to the Frank Miller Wolverine, which is the Wolverine I grew up on, and Claremont Wolverine, and the actual version. Older Wolverine, looks like he's in his 40s, early 50s maybe. He's gruff, he's really buff, he has a look on his face, and you can tell he's enjoying himself. I almost forgot the cigar, and I was kicking myself realizing all the picture I drew, I didn't even do the cigar, so I put the cigar in the last time and had to go white out some of the picture because of it. Now as we start in the finishes, I'm going to add the details in. It's going to be a lot of blocking in terms of where I want the eye to go. So the ninjas are going to be, of course, in black. To frame our protagonist, our anti-hero, in all his glory. Wolverine, aka Logan, no last name, known for the hairy arms and the bulging biceps, along with the t-shirt and the cowboy boots and the jeans, and the ninja, whether they be Hand or some other ninja from Japan, and the arrows and the cigar, and the cowboy hat, and the Mariko picture that he keeps with him, with Silver Samurai losing his helmet. Not to say he killed Silver Samurai, he did not. But Silver Samurai clearly lost this fight. So much that wherever he decided to go, bringing his helmet wasn't worth it. Yeah, it's my drawing, I'm gonna do what I want. So Silver Samurai's helmet is important to the mythos of Generation X Logan. So Silver Samurai went to running without his helmet. I will say that the one thing after they actually gave him an origin. They changed his hair. I didn't hate that. There's a lot of post-Wolverine, post-origin Wolverine I didn't dislike. I actually liked the short hair, all white haired version Wolverine. I thought that was a nice take of them actually aging him up a little bit. I kind of wish they kept it. But the Wolverine that I grew up with always had the wild hair, maybe a little slick in front, depending on who drew him. But he always had the hair that was indicative of the actual mask he wore. And that was the Wolverine I grew up with, so that's the Wolverine I drew. Although, like I said, the other Wolverines post-origin, they weren't too bad. I wasn't too keen of the leather Wolverine, but, you know, it is what it is. The yellow outfit and the brown outfit were fine. I was gonna do that, but I thought that was too on the nose. So the tank top, you know, kind of like he was in a place where he was being casual and was attacked and had to, as he would say, do what he does best. You know, he wasn't on assignment. He wasn't saving the world. He was Logan on downtime. And these dudes decided to bother the wrong guy, the wrong place at the wrong time. And here are the results. Going in, adding the detail here and there. Change the lighting around because it got a little dark. Started at daytime, went into the nighttime. So adding in some detail here and there. Scratch marks of the ninja because they had a time before they all precious died. They had a time. Oh, there it is. Highlights. Dead ninja. Dead ninja. Dead ninja. Cowboy hat. Oh, dead ninja. Labats, because silver samurai helmet. Mariko. Here's the finished piece, inked. There you go. Here's the colored version. I went in and colored it digitally. And here is the finished print with the My Wolverine's Name is Logan logo, along with my title in the Patreon. That is available at the Patreon. And that concludes the latest episode of Japes Drew This. Don't forget to join the Patreon if you haven't already. Description in the bottom. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time.